Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. I am the Crypto Crow. Today, we're going to react to a brand new video I have not watched yet by Discover Crypto. Sell your Solana for Cardano now. I don't know if this is a ploy or clickbait. I really don't know. I know that they're generally very bullish on Cardano. So we're going to watch this. We're going to find out, and I'll give you my thoughts as we go.
Sell your Solana for Cardano now. I have found the best altcoin strategy I have ever seen for these two altcoins, and it's going to be my Cardano strategy and my Solana strategy for 2025. And the communities are heating up right now after Charles Hoskinson, the founder of Cardano and one of the founding members of Ethereum, is now saying Cardano upgrade is going to make it faster than Solana. Now, this is in response to a recent poll where he said this, and this is the tweet right here. And it's a response to a post from Rick McCracken. He is deep in the Cardano ecosystem. He said, if you had two choices, build a Rust node or implement a Leos upgrade. More on that in a second. What would you do? Where Charles Hoskinson ended up replying to this. The Rust node gives no new differentiating features for users, whereas the Leos upgrade makes us faster than Solana without losing any decentralization. If you're wondering, Leos is just a blockchain-based technology. Just think of a crypto toolkit. And so this crypto toolkit is going to make Cardano faster than Solana. But what does this upgrade actually mean, and what does this mean for Cardano's price? Well, it looks like he means for Cardano to outpace Solana. And if we kind of look at what this actually means, this upgrade is going to be Cardano's biggest enhancement since the Chain hard fork.
So real quick, while this sounds fantastic, we have to also understand what is making Solana what it is, right? You've got a lot of the manipulation and everything that they've been doing. I mean, I saw the metrics where they shot up 6 million addresses in a matter of like no time, but yet none of them are on Twitter. I find that very odd. There's just a lot of smoke and mirrors around Solana, first of all. So the difference right off the jump is that a lot of this side is manipulated. And then everything on Cardano, it is what it is. It doesn't always look super pretty, but it's real and it's organic and it's not bought and paid for. So that's the one thing that we have to understand. In a sense, Cardano is trying to chase a ghost, compared to what a lot of people have said about Cardano for a while. Oh, it's a ghost chain. It's this, it's that. It's never going to do X, Y, Z. Well, all of that has been just shot in the foot. That's all done. I mean, I don't think anybody can effectively say any of that stuff anymore with a straight face. But we are now effectively chasing a ghost in that we're chasing metrics and things for a blockchain that those metrics generally aren't real. I mean, based off of all of the reports and the breakdowns and calculations and all of the different ways people have exposed a lot of this stuff on Solana, it's like, I guess what I'm trying to say is you've got all of that on one part of the sphere, and then on the other half, you just have this meme coin market, this completely degenerative meme coin market where a bunch of people are chasing dragons, playing this lottery, losing all kinds of money over and over again. But that does help the blockchain look more active. And so we have to keep that in mind. Yes, if all of these updates and upgrades to Cardano will in fact make it faster than Solana and things like that, because that's one thing Solana does have, is that when it works, it's extremely fast. The problem is more transactions seem to fail on Solana than go through. So while it's really fast, you never really know if you're I've seen a lot of videos where people, I lost so much money today, and they lost it because they were trying to get out of a position, but the blockchain wasn't working, so they couldn't get out of a position, and then they just basically watched what they were trying to get rid of tank in real time. And I've seen many videos like that over the past year. So you have to keep that in mind, but we'll see what else is going on here.
If you want to learn more about the Chain hard fork, we did a video on it about 3 weeks ago. Cardano bears about to get wrecked. Huge Chain fork update. So that was everything you need to know there. But it's going to give us a couple upgrades as well. Tiered transaction fees should make transaction faster, and faster chain syncing here. Now, this latest jab at Solana comes as the founder continues to position Cardano as a leading contender in the so-called Ethereum killer race. But I said, what does this mean for the price? So let's look at the price. First chart we're going to be looking at is the Cardano Bitcoin trading pair. Now, I've posted about this in the past. We are currently in the middle of a bull div, meaning a bullish diversion. Now, last time Cardano had a bull div, it matches up within the 4-year cycle. This happened in 2020. And if you look at the 4-year cycle, meaning what the cycle crypto kind of follows because of Bitcoin's halving schedule. Now, last time it happened, it was a 1,000% pump, and we're looking to set up something very similar. You can see the relative strength index moving to the upside here, whilst the price continues to lag, meaning the price should catch up to the strength of the market, meaning we typically get a pump. Last time it was a 10x. I'd be happy with half that. But the next chart gives me the best altcoin strategy I've seen all year, and this is going to be my strategy moving forward here. And let's give a big shout out to Bits of Wealth. He's earned a follow. Now, this is very, very compelling when you're looking at Solana and Cardano trading pair. And he even helped me out finding this trading pair. Nice guy. How to know from a technical perspective when to sell your Cardano for Solana. And this chart is going to give us the blueprint. For him, it's not personal, it's just business. Now, same thing goes for my prediction here. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased. I love Cardano. But folks, when we look at the chart, I'm not biased here. The chart is just that compelling. Now, this is Solana Cardano trading pair. You can see Sol USDT and ADA USDT. Now, the number you're seeing on the right is the amount of Cardano it takes to purchase one Solana token. And so right now, one Solana will net you nearly 400 ADA. Let's look at this price action in the past, and this has given us a very, very clear blueprint on how to take our profits in Cardano and Solana. Now, upon launch, Solana pumped up, where one Solana would net you about 40 Cardano, but then you end up seeing it took a pretty big move to the downside here. It went all the way down, where one Solana would only get you about 6 Cardano tokens, so 6 ADA tokens. But then from 6, it went on a tear, everybody. Then Solana just started to gain tons of value, where one Solana token would get you about 150 ADA tokens. But this chart is giving us the perfect strategy on how to trade Cardano and Solana. And then as it pumped, this was the perfect time to sell your Solana and buy as much Cardano as you could. Every Solana token would get you 150 ADA. Then you can see that trend reverse. And then you can see right here, this is the perfect time to sell your ADA and buy as much Solana as possible. So you end up trading out of Cardano about 30, 35 per unit. And then that brings us to this area right here. This is the perfect time to sell your Solana and trade it in for as much Cardano as you can. Now, folks, let me give you a little bit of a warning. Now, once we zoom in, you can see there's still a lot of movement to be had. If we were to hit the top part of this range, you're looking at pretty close to 500 ADA per Solana token. Now, this isn't to say we won't revisit the top. There's a very strong possibility we come back.
So this is basically the same kind of strategy that I used with my Bitcoin. So a lot of you guys are going to remember not that long ago where, because I watched the spread between Bitcoin and Cardano for, a couple of years now, trying to find that spot that I was in way back in, I think it was 2018, 2019. I think it was 2019, where I could have got, I think it was like 450,000 ADA for one Bitcoin. And I didn't do it. And I'm like, oh my God. And I kicked my own ass so many times since then. To this day, I'm still like, why didn't I do it? Because we're in a very exact position right now with Cardano that I was in back then. And that was, the price has been down. It's been stagnant. It keeps moving down. You start questioning your faith in the project, and you're kind of like, I'm not sure what to expect. Bitcoin's so much safer because it goes up, and Cardano's been kind of sideways and stagnant or going down a little bit. I just don't know what to do. And man, it's all the way down to 2 cents. Can it ever go back up? I bought it originally, and you start rationalizing all of this stuff that sounds logical at the time. And I talked myself out of it. And I could have had so much more than I did when the market peaked, but lesson learned. So what happened was, I've been watching that spread, trying to figure out when is the best time to exit some of my Bitcoin and enter Cardano. And so it was at a point where I think I got, I can't remember what it was, but I think it was around 75,000 ADA for one Bitcoin, right? I mean, that's what happens because, Bitcoin only goes up so much. And originally I started buying back into Bitcoin at around 20 grand. So I bought some Bitcoin. And then when it was up to, I forget what the price was when I did it, it's in the video. I think I titled the video, I just bought 350,000 ADA. So that's what happened. It was basically the spread was so good that I'm like, okay, and I bought 350,000 ADA with my Bitcoin. And, you know, it's just, I was going to take advantage of that point in time. Well, it's something similar with Solana. It looks like that's what this video is about. Yeah. I mean, based on these technicals, it looks like now is a really good time to exit Solana and start going into Cardano before Cardano starts its rise. And the thing of it is at this point, Solana is the king of marketing a pet rock. Okay. And that's just my personal opinion. I'm not trying to dunk on Solana. I mean, I know that it sounds like it, and sometimes I am, because I can't stand Solana, but they're really good at marketing, and they're really good at coming up with I call little fun things that are ultimately potentially useful, but they're very gimmicky. I feel like they're very good at coming up with gimmicks to get people talking, because people so desperately want to fight and disbelieve the narratives that have been exposed around Solana for so long now over this bear market, that people are so hungry to grasp onto anything that gives them validation for being into the project, right? And so, you know, it's difficult because they're constantly buying all these narratives around Solana about how great it is and how the number go up and how it's better than everything else. And then every crappy meme coin that launches on it that's got some money behind it pumps money into these narratives online. And so that's what happens. We start seeing this and people start to buy into it. They start to believe it. Oh, maybe Solana is better than Cardano. Comparing Solana to Cardano is truly like, it's like, I don't know how to the best analogy, but it's basically like taking a Model T Ford and comparing it to like a Ferrari or something, right? Like Solana's fast, but it breaks down all the time. Ferraris break down all the time. The cost of ownership for a Ferrari is insane. I don't know how many of you know that. I don't own one. I never have. But you know, Cardano is reliable. It doesn't fail. It's never failed. The blockchain has never went down. It's truly decentralized. There's so much coming. There's so much being added to make it better and better all the time. Now we've got everything coming out about midnight, and the airdrops with midnight that are going to happen cross-chain to unify the ecosystem. And it's going to start, that alone is going to bring so many more people into the Cardano ecosystem. And so let's see what he has to say about the rest of this.
Contest the top, but I definitely think this chart is telling us, you know, minus a little pause right here, the charts want to pull Solana back down to the bottom of this range, and where you should be able to trade your Solana in for maybe close to, you can see right here, around 100 ADA. So I do think there's going to be a period where one Solana token is worth about 100, maybe 120 ADA tokens. But right now you can see one Solana is worth close to 400 ADA tokens. So this chart, very compelling. This goes back years. You can see it's just been following this range. Again, perfect time to sell your Cardano, perfect time to sell your Solana. Repeat, sell your Cardano, and then repeat, sell your Solana. And then back down here, even though I love Cardano, I'm probably going to need to sell some Cardano and then move it back into Solana.
So there's one final note that I want to make about this, because I really do believe that the whales and the VCs behind Solana they spend so much money on the narrative associated with it. And I really do believe I believe this is Solana's last market for a multitude of reasons, but it's like, how many times can you put lipstick on a pig? Right. And I believe that there's technology out there. You know, you had Luna, you had FTX, you had all of these things that a lot of the people that are associated with Solana were associated with. And I really believe that this market cycle is it for Solana. I truly do. And it's not just me being a hater. It's not any of that. I don't know how high Solana is going to go in this cycle, but I do believe that when the whales and the VCs and all of the people behind it exit, I don't see it going back up after that. I think all of their efforts are going to transition into something better. And I've been starting to see some narratives around SUI, SUI. I don't even know anything about it other than a lot of it. You know how if you're watching like mainstream news and you've got 30 different networks and they're all saying the exact same thing, almost as if it came down from above, and they're all regurgitating their notes and it's all the exact same message over and over and over again. I feel like that is starting to happen in the Solana ecosystem. It's starting to happen in the Solana camp. I think they're starting to plant seeds to let people know this is probably going to be it. We're going to start migrating all of our efforts, our money, and everything else over to this other project, likely because they can't get past the narratives related to the facts of Solana. The facts being that it shuts down all the time, that transaction failure is extremely high. There are a lot of these things that I just don't think they can fix. I've talked to other people that are kind of insiders in some of those development camps. When Solana goes down or an application on Solana goes down, nobody knows how to fix this stuff. That's why it takes so long, because they're always scrambling, trying to figure out, well, what happened and why. Nobody even really seems to understand their own shit. So they're struggling to fix these things, which is why we'll have downtime and there'll be issues that'll last days or even weeks. So, and I think that is a narrative that they can't really get past. They can't get around, and I don't see anybody fixing any of that stuff. So I really do believe they're going to start transitioning out of the Solana ecosystem. And I think that everybody that's riding this, expecting this wave to be, you know, a huge moon by the peak of this cycle, and I think a lot of those people are probably going to be fairly disappointed. Will it go up a little bit from here? Sure, I think everything will. But the question is, how much will it go up? And when Cardano really starts its tear, which we've seen cycle after cycle, even before everything it's accomplished to date, before we had smart contracts, before we had any of the functionality, right? It would go on these really massive tears. Now we have so much more going on, so many more projects, so much happening, that I do believe that this market is probably going to catch people by surprise. And when Cardano goes on its first run for a big tear, I think that's going to catch a lot of people by shock and awe. And I think that's when people are going to start really realizing that the narrative about this cycle and the next is going to be focused primarily on DeFi, DePIN, AI, and decentralization. And I don't think any blockchain out there is more qualified and more capable of maintaining all of those elements than Cardano. And I think that is going to start really being prevalent in the 2024-2025 cycle. So that's it for now. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you again soon. And let me know in the comments, if you don't mind, if you're still watching this, what if I were to start going live for like an hour or two at a time, watching and reacting these videos in a stream, one long stream, so that I can engage you guys in chat at the same time, and then I can cut them up later and then re-upload them all as individual videos. What do you guys think of that? Let me know in the comments below. I'd really appreciate it, because I'm going to start cranking out more content, getting more active. Daddy needs a new pair of shoes. I got to get to work. Until next time, crow your coins, and I'll see you soon.